What's happening, guys? Welcome to the Talking Pigskin AFC and NFC East edition. Finally, we made it to the division that matters the most to me, which is the AFC East. But still, I'm going to have you guys waiting for just a little bit because we have to get through NFC East first. So let's start with the America's team that everyone can't stop talking about, the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, after all these years, since the 90s, the last time they were in the Super Bowl, that team is still relevant even in this day and age. Unreal, but then again, it is the Cowboys. So let's start with them. They have a new head offensive coordinator this year in Kellen Moore. They got rid of Scott Linehan last year. Good riddance, because my God, that guy was bad. Predictable play calling will be out the door now. Kellen Moore, pretty sure you guys remember him from Boise State. The whole Statue of Liberty play. Yeah, he's a coach now. Believe it. So wonder what he's going to bring to the table. I think he will be pretty good for Dak and Zeke. Speaking of Zeke, he's holding out still, but I'm fully confident in Jerry Jones to get a deal done before the season starts. He's a master-class business person, so I'm not going to even sweat on Zeke. I think he'll be back before season starts. They did bring back Jason Witten out of retirement. 1 year in, the booth didn't do well for Jason Witten. He struggled in Monday Night Football, so hopefully back in the field he will be better suited and do what he's good at. They also brought in Randall Cobb from Green Bay to go opposite Mari Cooper. They did lose Alan Hearns, but it's not a big loss. So I think they actually upgraded in that case. They did also add Robert Quinn and George Aloka on that defense side of the ball. Rod Marinelli is still there. That defense is always pretty good. This year they'll take a step back because Randy Gregory is going to be gone. He's suspended indefinitely from the league. So that's an issue. But, Van Der Esch is still there, so they'll be good in that side of the ball. They did also lose Cole Beasley after a long time, so that's also interesting. But the Cowboys, Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper are the key, and I think they'll be mediocre like every other year, and I think they'll finish 9-7 and contend for a wild card spot. Let's move on to the New York Giants. Let's talk about Daniel Jones because that's what the Giants fans want to talk about. But unfortunately, I'm sorry to break it to them, Eli Manning will start the season as the starting quarterback of this team. Saquon Barkley is one of the best players they could have ever drafted, but they'll always look back at the 2018 draft where they passed on Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, or Josh Allen to take over from Eli. But now they have Daniel Jones, so let's see what he's going to do. But I don't think he'll see the field until midseason when Eli completely blows up the field. They did add Golden Tate, who will be suspended for the first 4 games. They also added Kevin Zeitler with the OBJ trade that they had with the Browns. Losing OBJ, a lot of fans were upset about it, but OBJ I think is all bark at this point. He's good, don't get me wrong, he's good. But I don't think he's worth the headache. So I think for Giants fans, it was good riddance. They also added Jabril Peppers from that trade and Antoine Bethea. They did, however, lose Olivia Vernon and Landon Collins, which is a big blow on the defense side of the ball. I will be concerned with their defense. I know Alec Ogletree's still there, but not sure what they are going to do without Landon Collins. They also added Dexter Lawrence, the defense tackle from Clemson, in the first round of the draft this year. And they also added DeAndre Baker at the end of first round this past draft. So they did add some pieces. I just don't think this year was going to be good for them. I think it's a rebuilding year. I think they're going to finish 6-10 this year. Let's move on to Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Carson Wentz is slated to be healthy, hopefully, for the first time in a while, because Nick Foles is gone, so his backup is Josh McCown. So I'm not sure if Wentz injury will do this team any good. So what did they do? They added Jordan Howard from Chicago Bears, and they also brought back Deshaun Jackson from Tampa Bay. I'm sure he's happy to be back home, back where he belongs. Philadelphia offense is going to be just fine, especially with their rookie running back, Miles Sanders, who they drafted in second round out of Penn State. He was the backup to Saquon when they were in Penn State together. So I think the Eagles are in pretty good shape. Their offense will be very good. Doug Peterson will have them dialed in. They did lose Michael Bennett on the defense side of the ball and Haloti Ngata, Timmy Jernigan, but they brought in Malik Jackson from Denver, which is a great pickup. And also they brought Andrew Sendejo from the Vikings secondary. So they're going to have good pieces on both sides of the ball. And again, Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz, it's going to be a very good combination. I think a 10-6 record is on their books this year. And the last team in this division is the Washington Redskins. Now they added Case Keenum this offseason from Denver to be their starter. They also added Donald Penn, tackle from Oakland Raiders. I think this is a rebuilding year for the Redskins as well. Wow, I said that word twice in a very short time. The Giants and the Redskins are both in rebuilding stage this year. They did add Landon Collins from the Giants, which is good for them, but they lost Jameson Crowder, they lost Zach Brown and Preston Smith from that defense. So the Redskins are gonna have a lot to. They're gonna have a lot of patchwork lineups this year. They did add Dwayne Haskins, but I don't think he's ready to start in the league yet. But they also added Montez Sweat at the end of first round. He will be good for that defense. All in all, I think the best they could finish is 6-10. This is not the year for Redskins. Now let's finally move on to the AFC East and start with the Buffalo Bills. The first team I want to talk about. They added some receivers this year. They added Cole Beasley, John Brown. They added Frank Gore, T.J. Yeldon. They also added the center from Kansas City, Mitch Moore. So they added pieces for Josh Allen. How effective will they be? That remains to be seen because Josh Allen still has some work left. He's not as smooth as Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold as of yet. So we'll have to see Josh Allen and how he progresses. They did lose Kyle Williams, who retired this past offseason, and Charles Clay. But they did draft Ed Oliver in the first round of the draft. So he'll be a pretty good pickup for them. The Bills have lots of question marks. As usual, and I don't think they'll do much this year. I think they'll finish 7-9. Next thing we got is the Miami Dolphins with the new head coach and Brian Flores. He has been handed a very weird situation where the team is just depleted on all sides of the ball. They're going to be very bad this year. So with adding Josh Rosen from the Cardinals, Dwayne Allen from the Pats, and also bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick, who will probably start the season. This is just going to be a train wreck season for them. They don't have anything going for them. They lost Danny Amendola. They lost Ryan Tannehill. They lost Cameron Wake. It's just bad all around when you look at this team. They're going to have Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage running the ball now. Not sure how effective they will be. I don't think Kenny Stills, Albert Wilson are top-tier receivers. It's just not looking good for the Dolphins. So 4-12 finish is highly likely. Let's move on to, unfortunately, the best team in the AFC, the New England Patriots. Now, every year they finish in the double-digit wins because AFC just doesn't have anything to throw at them. This year will be, I guess, similar for me to say. Michael Bennett was added to this defense side of the ball, and also Jamie Collins has been brought back from Cleveland. Ben Watson will be returning to the team from the offensive side of the ball, but he's suspended for the first 4 games. Tom Brady returning for his 21st season by now. This guy is just unreal. He's going to continue playing until he doesn't have anything to offer anymore, which is I don't know when. They did lose Gronk in retirement. They lost Trent Brown. They lost Adrian Claiborne, Trey Flowers, Chris Hogan. But they did draft N'Keal Harry from Arizona State in the first round. He so far have heard good things about him. Let's see if he can be a good player for them. They also will have Josh Gordon, hopefully clean for the first time in a very long time. So let's see what they do. But 11-5 is the very least they can do. They'll probably potentially do better than that. And the last team, the final team to cover for me, is my beloved New York Jets. We have a new head coach in Adam Gase replacing Todd Bowles. We have a new offensive coordinator in Dow Loggins. We have a new defensive coordinator in Greg Williams. The pieces are there. Sam Darnold also got Le'Veon Bell this year in the offseason. Also got Jameson Crowder. Also, we added Ryan Khalil on the center position and Kelechi Osemele from the Raiders for the left guard position. We added a lot. On defense, we added C.J. Mosley. We added Quinnen Williams from the first round of the draft. There is a lot of pieces that's in here. But my main concern with this team is freaking secondary. God awful. Tremaine Johnson is question mark right now. He got his payday last year, and he still hasn't lived up to it. So this is a huge year for him, but he's also suffering from a hamstring injury already. So that secondary is depleted already. Jamal Adams, Marcus May will hold down the safety positions, but the corners are just so horrid right now that I'm very concerned with this team. They did also lose Darren Lee in the offseason, and the 2 other key positions that no one will look into. Jason Myers, our kicker, and Andrew Roberts, our returner. That special teams unit is struggling this year already. And from what I've seen in preseason, I was at the game on Saturday. That Bertolette finally made 2 field goals, but he was missing extra points all preseason long, and it's just not the best place to be when you know some games will come down to the extra points and field goals. So I don't feel good about our special teams and secondary, but heavily interested and cannot wait to see Sam Darnold take the next step with all these weapons we added around him. And I think the Jets will be primed to make a move. They're easily going to double their wins this year. They were 4-12 last year. I'm predicting them to finish 9-7 this year. I think the Jets will be much improved. Can I hope for a wild card spot? They will be battling the Chargers, the Browns, the Ravens, the Titans for it. Hopefully they'll be in the thick of things in December, but I can't guarantee it yet. Hopefully things will go well. But the New York Jets, this is going to be a fun year. I haven't been this excited for a Jet team since the 2010 season when they went to the AFC Championship against the Pittsburgh Steelers and lost. But yeah, Sam Darnold, I can't wait to see what he does. I'm very excited for him. Hopefully he will take us to the promised land. So let me know what you guys think of these picks. I will have one more video before the week 1 prediction video. Look out for that, hopefully Sunday or Monday night. Until then, take care guys. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Talking Pigskin. Good night for now.